Ready?
So the Subway story.
Okay, so this story I like to call the sweat story. And this takes place at the time period of when I was working at Subway in Spring Valley. Now, this was my first job pretty much right out of high school. So this was like 02, 03. And at the time, I was a closer. And one of the last things on the list that you're supposed to do before you set the alarm and bounce is turn off the AC. Well, I forgot to turn on the AC. I just turned on the alarm, locked the door, and I was done. I left for the night. And I just so happened to work the very next day during the lunch rush. And there was a heat wave from hell blowing through Spring Valley. And with the AC broken because the pipes froze because it didn't get turned off, it was an absolute sauna inside the Subway. And I'm making, people sandwiches, and I'm not only just sweating, but just pouring sweat, just a continual downpour. It looked like I just came out of the Amazon rainforest, like just dripping sweat. My eyes, ears, chin, mouth, nose, it was just coming out from all angles. And being as sanitary as possible, I've got gloves on, I'm doing this, trying not to use my arms too much or my hands too much, but it's not helping. It's not working at all. And this customer coming up was this huge guy. I mean, this guy was huge. And I get his bread ready, and I'm starting to put his meat and cheese on. I got his meat and cheese on. And just as I'm starting to put his vegetables on, as careful as I'm trying to be without getting any of my sweat on anyone's food, in slow motion, mind you, I see one bead of sweat from my nose just do a swan dive. I mean, an Olympic swan dive all the way down and just whoosh, all over his sandwich. Just one little bead falls on his sandwich. And in my mind, I'm thinking, you know what, I'm just going to play it off. Maybe he didn't see it. And let me kind of put you in a little bit of perspective in that I was at this Subway shop for 2 years. And after the first year, I was completely burnt out. Just didn't care about nothing. Didn't care at all whatsoever. So, I mean, I was a dirtbag. I really was. Just customer service just was out the window a long time ago. So, I decided to just play it off. Maybe he didn't see it. So I asked him, would you like onions, lettuce, or tomatoes on your sandwich? And he has this look on his face, like, did you? And then he asked me, did you just drip sweat on my sandwich? And I look at him, stone cold, straight face. Yes, I did. And the look on his face was just so shocking and appalling that I was just so bluntly honest. And just, no emotion, just, yes, I did. And he says, well, can you make me a new one? Like I was naturally supposed to or something, And I was not having it. It was too damn hot to be making another sandwich. I was just pouring sweat. Everything was just soaked through. It looked like I just crawled out of a washing machine after it just got done. And yeah, I guess I can make you another one. If that's what you really want. With that exact attitude and verbiage. Not making this up. And so I pull the sandwich off the line, set it behind me on the counter, of course, so I can eat it later. And I make him a new one. Pull out the same bread, pull out the same meat, the same cheese, get it together, and I totally just had this attitude like, I can't believe this guy wants me to make him a new one. Like he's something special, So, and the whole time, my manager is watching me this whole time, and whatchamacallit, like he's just standing around the corner where the prep table is, and he's just like are you serious, Matt? Are you freaking serious right now? And I look over at him and I kind of just, you know, whatever. And so I make him a new sandwich, go all the way through. Would you like lettuce, tomatoes, or onion? And so he continues on with his order. Give him all the veggies he wants. Would you like mayonnaise or mustard, sir? Put on whatever sauce he wants. Sir, do you want salt or pepper, oil and vinegar? Put on his oil and vinegar, salt and pepper. Give him his 2 napkins, 4 foot longs. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And hand it off to the register person. And he actually wrote a complaint about me. And I got to the complaint first before it got to my manager and threw it away. So, anyway, yes, that is my gross I sweat in a guy sandwich when I used to work at Subway Story.